Dr. Cynthia Clark, acupuncture physician, applied clinical nutritionist, creator of Energy Evolution, and president of Longevity Wellness. And tonight we're talking about essential oils specifically for pure energy, clearing energy. This is a little bit different use than most people are accustomed to. So this is a metaphysical use of essential oils. And the reason that we're talking about this is because of the effects of stress on the body, specifically the part of the body that's in our DNA. The bit of the DNA that's at the very end, which is called the telomere. And the telomere length is directly proportional to your actual age. Yes, your longevity, your age. So if your telomere length is very short, then you're going to look and feel old, even if it's before your time. So somebody with very short telomere lengths, even if they're in their 30s, might feel exhausted and not have very much energy, or they might have some major chronic diseases. So this has been linked to diseases like idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, for example. However, if you are of normal, if your age mostly matches how you feel, then you probably have normal telomere length. If you feel younger than your actual age, then possibly your telomere lengths are longer. There is an excellent test that we can do to measure your telomere length, so you can find out about the effects of aging on your life and even reverse this, turn this around. So what causes our telomeres to shorten? Well, regular stress causes it, and chronic stress causes it. And what causes stress? By the way, everybody thinks that everybody else experiences stress in the same way that they do. They go, I was really stressed out. And the other person goes, nobody's actually said anything about how they felt. They just said that they felt stressed. To one person, that might have meant that they had tight shoulders and a headache and they couldn't think very clearly. And to another person, that might have meant that they had a tummy ache and they had to run to the bathroom. Two totally different sets of experiences, but stress affects us all in different ways and over time. And some people seem to be almost immune to stress. It's like they could just walk through anything and they don't have any problem. So what's up with that? And how do we get to be like those people?
Yeah, I'd
like to be like those people. Well, one of the things that causes stress on our bodies is, there's lots of things that cause stress. What are some of the things that cause stress for you?
Just the daily routine.
Daily routine.
Yes, just
bad drivers.
Yes.
Bad drivers, long lines,
yes.
Bills due. Bad people, frustrating people, relationships in general.
Sometimes good people are stressful too.
Sometimes good people are stressful. They can even be stressful in a different way. They want me to do this thing. I don't know if I'm up for doing this thing.
Mm-hmm. Just expecting situations to be different than they are.
Expectations. Expectations are stressful. Now we have all these things that stress us out in a normal day.
Not being able to have milkshakes anymore. It's very stressful.
Not being able to have milkshakes anymore. Technical difficulties, actually, right? Like how many of us get frustrated when our phones don't work, or
Yes.
I now drive a large computer, and when my computer car doesn't work, it's very stressful. When my computer car and my computer phone don't talk to each other, I'm suddenly stressed out, even though I didn't have that capability 6 months ago. So yeah, stress can come in all different forms in all different places in life. And each time that we allow ourselves to feel that stress, then those little telomeres, those base pairs at the end of our DNA strands, they get a few of them knocked off.
It's no good.
That's no good. It's costing us telomere length to go through this stressful situation. There's something else that can cause us stress that we don't usually talk about, or at least if we do talk about it, then people think we're crazy. And it's this whole concept of negative energies. So in my line of work, I clear negative energies every single day. So it's a very real thing. And I have a physiological reaction when energy is clear. So there's no question in my mind whether or not something is happening. And those of you who know me and have worked with me know that physiological effect, it's a clearing of my energy. It sounds like a type of a belch. Somebody once called me they said it sounded like a moose at one point. But it happens, and it happens whether I'm consciously attending to it or not. So I'm very clear that it's a very good metric of this is happening, and this is a real thing. So I thought it would be fun. I put together a little sheet of some of the oils, ways that you can use oils to clear negative energies. And of course, I did indeed energy measure the information that I'm about to give out to you. So I'll pass these around. And there's one for the person just joining us. And the first one that I get to tell you about is my first favorite herb. It's my favorite cooking herb. It has long been my favorite herb. When I taught the food as medicine class, one of the young ladies in the class gave me this herb upon graduation because I was so enamored of it. And the reason I'm enamored of it is, we'll talk more about the metaphysical properties in a moment, but it is the perfect herb for the South because we live in this damp, hot climate here, and this herb both cools a little bit and it also drains damp. It aromatically transforms damp, and that is a very, very, very beneficial thing to have. So, somebody tell me what this herb is. There's a picture there. What's the herb? Basil! Yes, basil, 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 basil,
all
basil.
over my garden. You know, because it flowers and then it just travels all over.
Yes.
Yes, I gotta bring you one with your little rose.
No.
Yes.
This is the best class
Because,
ever.
you know,
Got so excited I dropped my paper. I don't currently have basil right now, so yeah, and there's even symbolic uses of basil. So basil was, because I had to do a little bit of research. You know, every class I teach, I get to learn something. That's my reward for teaching the classes, is I get to learn something. Basil is a symbol of fertility in Italy, and it's known as the symbol for love because the leaves resemble hearts. The basil diva, which is the name for plant spirit, D-E-V-A, is a protector of family, and burning basil oil will help to exorcise negativity from the home and bring good luck and happiness to a new home. Basil creates a sympathetic vibration and is often worn to assist in clashes with other people. The scent can be used to mend lovers' quarrels and ensure fidelity between lovers. It opens the heart meridian to clear energy between the heart and the hands. So if you feel like there is just a bad vibe in your space, especially if it's in your bedroom, especially if it tends to come up when you're in conversation with your lover, with your loved one, your partner, your spouse, look to basil. You can cook with it. The essential oil, though, is significantly more potent than just the herb, and the use of this oil will help to clear that pathway of love that exists between you and your loved one, and help free you of this negative energy. So give me some examples of what it feels like when there are negative energies around. Like, what is it, how might you recognize that there might be negative energies involved?
Icky.
Feels
Achy. Excellent.
Yeah.
heavier, feel kind of
Yes.
something oppressive,
Heavy,
sleepy.
Oppressive, sleepy, sometimes confusing.
Mhm.
Like, why are we arguing about this right now? Why is this happening right now? Yeah, good. What else?
Or anxious, or suddenly for no particular reason.
And I think that's one of the best telltale signs. Suddenly, for no particular reason. Like, I was fine 5 minutes ago, and now I cannot stand the sound of your voice. That's probably not me. That's probably negative energy.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, if it just comes on suddenly, that's
Or
probably.
when your spouse no longer recognizes your intelligence.
Focus on you, not your spouse, right now.
Well, that is. I mean, if she's not recognizing my intelligence, therefore, it's all about me, isn't it?
Because so when we feel these things, when we recognize these, it's important to attend to it right away, because these are filters that affect the way that we see everything, including our loved ones, and that can lead us down a path of poor judgment. And the poor judgment might be saying something that we don't mean. We're not really fully ourselves at the time that these things come on. So whatever we say isn't fully us. We don't really want to express that. Now, whether or not you're held responsible for that is a conversation between you and your loved one, but I submit that if you let it come out of your mouth, you have a responsibility for those words.
Yes.
And you need to apologize. Even if they know all of the stuff that you do, and even if they do this kind of energy work, apologies are very important, because otherwise, it leaves a portal for negative energies. Okay, are you all in love with basil the way I am now?
Mm.
Good. All right, the second one is actually a very common spice, and there's a reason that it's so potent. In fact, our two most common spices here in America are have been very highly valued through the course of history. There's a fantastic book called Salt. This isn't the herb that we're about to talk about. There's a fantastic book called Salt that talks about the history and the value of salt over time. You think about it, salt was the only way that people could preserve meat back thousands of years ago. So this was tremendously valuable, and even today we still use it in the vast majority of our food because it significantly enhances the flavor. Thank God for salt.
Yes.
I had some delicious Himalayan salt on I sprinkled some on my food not too long ago, along with, what is it?
Black
pepper.
Black pepper. So black pepper engenders courage and provides positive anger for change. All right, let's talk about this for a second because we're all used to the concept of anger being negative, right? Okay. And emotions are energy moving through our body. They become pathogenic when they sit and they stagnate, and that's when they become dangerous. A quick anger that is a recognition of something not being just can be very useful. So for example, one of my favorite stories about this was a realtor here locally in town, and this was in the papers, and she shared her story at the time, so I'm delighted to share her name because she's a remarkable lady. Her name is Jenny Jerams, and she was in her 60s at the time that this happened. She was showing a gentleman a house, and he tried to lock her in the bathroom and cause physical harm to her, and she fought him off. She fought him off. She got out of the house. She called the realtor board and got the word out immediately to all other realtors so that he wouldn't be able to do this to anyone else. And he had been doing this to other people. So she's a rock star. She was like awesome, right? She's my hero. I was so honored and pleased. And I asked her, how did you do this? And she's like, I got angry. Like, who does this guy think he is trying to lock me in the bathroom like that? I'm not letting that happen. So positive anger for change, right? Now, she didn't hold on to that. She didn't hold a grudge against the guy even. She did the right thing and then she was clear of it. So she didn't have this negative emotion kicking around. She let go of it when the event stopped. She was a really remarkable lady. Okay, more about black pepper. It banishes malevolence. It protects against the evil eye and it dispels evil. This is a primary exorcism oil, and that's what we're talking about here. Banishing negative energies is exorcisms. That's what we're doing. It is also helpful in confronting fears as it provides strength, protection, and stamina. With its invigorating properties, it can be used to add spice to a relationship that is growing stale. It is a catalyzer, enhancing the synergy of blends and increasing the potency of other oils. It also opens the electrical flow of energy throughout the body, and it promotes the conscious thought process. So it's just like what you would think it would be. It's a great stimulator. It moves things through, it keeps us from holding on to things, and it lets it get out of our energy field. Good. Any questions about basil or black pepper? No. All right. The next one, I'm going to pass around and let you smell. And this is my favorite essential oil. So basil has been my longtime favorite herb, but this is my favorite essential oil. And this is one of the oils that the three that was presented to baby Jesus. So what were the three? Myrrh was one. Frankincense. And gold. Yep, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And so this is frankincense. Frankincense releases powerful vibrations for protection, purification, and exorcism, and it's related to sun energy. By the way, this oil is outside the scope of what we're talking about tonight, but it's also excellent for both the nerves and the skin and the immune system, so it's very potent healing. It is used to predispose the mind to sexual ecstasy. So we also talked about this last month in the Cultivating Sexual Energy class. Now you know why it's my favorite oil right now is because it does so many awesome things and it's fantastic for everything. It elevates personal and spiritual love, and it heightens awareness on all levels by inspiring and awakening the spiritual senses. Frankincense expands consciousness and transformation. It accelerates spiritual growth by providing a meditative state and opening the crown chakra, causing the body to drop into alignment and anchor in the physical. It is a cleanser of the body, aura, psychic planes, and the environment by removing all negative influences and bringing inner peace. So, how do you use essential oils for clearing negative energies?
The diffuser.
Diffuser's a great way to go. Do you just sit it in the room and let it go? You can do that. If you can, I encourage you to walk around with it because it needs to get into the space. It's gonna get there, you know, when in the corner. But if you got stuff kicking, then it's a good idea to
Travel
go
with it.
Yep, go because. Well, we had a saying in my school. I'm sure that you've all heard it. The best defense is a good.
Old-fashioned.
Good. Yeah. Get your oils. Walk around with them. Spray them. Go after this stuff. Don't let it sit around because you don't want it stagnating it. Other ways that you can do this is you can just, you know, if you don't have a diffuser and you got something going on, just walk around with it and waft. Everybody uses this word, gently waft. Waft it around. Be careful. You probably don't want to stick your nose directly above oil and huff because they're quite potent and they can start to irritate the skin on the inside. Apart from frankincense, which is good for the skin.
You don't put it on your skin?
And you can put it on your skin. All of these you can put directly on your skin too. If you feel like it's inside you or that you want to put up protection, you know, you want to have an aura of clearing around you, then you're welcome to put it on your skin. If you're trying to clear a space, like you feel like there's something in your house, then walk around with it.
Would it be effective to like dilute it some in this little spray bottle and spray either around yourself or in the space that you're in, like in between clients or something?
Yeah, I hear about this concept of diluting quite often and I just don't practice it. It's just a personal preference, but every time I energy measure whether to dilute it or not, I always get not to just use it the way that it is. But that is very potent and it's, you know, it's valuable to understand. It's really potent. You don't gotta, it's not like an air freshener.
So if you have a diffuser, that's the way to go.
That will dilute it.
Just put a drop on your clothes.
You can put a drop on your clothes, yep.
Drop in each room.
Make sure that you're careful of upholstery and carpet and whatnot because they are quite potent. Of course, if you are going to use essential oils in any kind of spray, anything, then make sure that it's glass because the essential oils will erode, especially the citrus will erode the plastic. And also, just as a reminder, because we always talk about this every time, if you are going to use any citrus oils, never ever ever go out into the sun that same day because it will cause you to be very, very, very scarred. It is very dangerous to put especially the oil, the tangerine, the orange and the tangerine directly on your skin and then to go out in the sunlight. So never do that. Always keep it covered. Were you going to say something?
I'm just
Testing? Okay. All right. Any questions? Great. All right. Thanks for coming tonight, everyone, and learning about essential